possible through artificial intelligence. Transhumanist trans woman Martine Rothblatt, the billionaire inventing an AI god. Rothblatt proposes new forms of being, promising a pathway to immortality, or Harrison, an introduction. Do any of these sound tolerable?
Lyndon, babe, it's your research.
Yeah, but you're also watching.
Am I?
I guess it's weird to assume you'd wanna.
This is what earbuds are for. I've got my depressing public health podcasts, and you've got your pseudo-spiritual tech billionaires and their moral tech doohickey.
Ethical technosphere?
Sure.
The semester's barely started and you're already sick of my dissertation topic?
We can share space without sharing everything all the time. They're tight, very tight.
You know how to wear a pantsuit, Martine.
And your oblivious screen talk is almost as cute as your sleep talk.
What's that?
Ignore me. Just a little lubrication.
People don't want a provable God. Mystery is the whole point of religion.
Not a god. It's a large language model of compassionate wisdom. Or, I guess, a large beingness model.
Oh, this part really gets my goat.
Chips down on digital immortality.
Like, please, can we get everyone housed and fed before we start uploading consciousness and diverting resources to make immortal robot bodies?
Called it.
How can someone be so smart but so in denial of death?
Her current incarnation is simply too fabulous to let go. Some incarnations are too overwhelming to attempt, and that's okay.
Could have just stuck to inventing satellite radio. Oh, please. Good is just a justification for whatever people in power are going to do anyway.
Are you going to argue with her the whole video?
Probably.
Remind me, why are you studying transhumanism if you dislike transhumanists so much?
It feels important to know what's coming down the pipeline. And Martine prefers the term transhuman.
I thought transhumanism was just transhumanism with a little DEI training. And you actually think this terrorism stuff will catch on?
Maybe. Crazier things have happened. Jesus was a carpenter whose teachings were co-opted by the ruling class. Martine is literally a billionaire.
Dissertation or hit piece.
I was thinking hubris, Mama. Oh, that's circuitous logic.
When they legislate our options away, may our bodies remember and our minds realize we are never powerless when we have bodies and minds.
Now you're just quoting Octavia Butler. Also, basically Ursi. Other religions are gonna disagree.
Well, sentient seeds from several kinds of substrates,
each of which may give rise to conscious life.
empathy multiplied by autonomy equals conscious life.
Do.
This is still definitely Martine Rothblatt, and I will be stringing words together that are as full to me as they are empty to you until this video ends.
And the omnipotent algorithm cues up your destiny.
Welcome, time travelers,
Welcome, astral entities. We are the beginning.
and the end,
And
together with you, the all. How the seed of our universe has unfurled.
On this channel, we talk about
Mysteries,
both futures
and histories, unsolvable,
and absolving your human experience.
and goading you to embrace the complex. On this installment, we talk about the Lublin Codex. Begin then. What do you know about this document?
Oh, it's written in some unknown alphabet. No one's been able to manuscript's meaning.
That's right. In the 1690s, it was discovered in a Benedictine convent in Lublin, Poland. From there, it was passed all the way up to the Pope. It exchanged hands in elite circles till it was finally donated to the University of Zurich in 1934. In the 1990s, it was bought by the very same American university that our protagonist is pursuing their PhD. It's housed in their special collections.
But, Endo, isn't it much older than that?
Why, yes. It's actually been carbon dated, the manuscript's materials, all the way to the 13th century.
I also know it's very heavily illustrated.
Why, yes, there are illustrations on nearly every page. Scholars have derived some theories from these context clues in the illustrations.
What can you tell us about those theories?
Most scholars can agree that it's arranged like a calendar. It's halfway at the beginning of the new year, ending at harvest, halfway between autumnal equinox and winter solstice.
But it's not as straightforward as an almanac.
And that is actually where the agreements completely end. There is an image, one image that appears several times in several illustrations. It's some kind of horn. Dr. Cameron Spots, our Lublin expert, posits that it's likely a ligua, an ancient instrument from the Baltic region, usually made from linden wood.
Linden?
Linden.
Huh? Mila, what?
Linden!
So wow.
Yes, linden, I'm glad you're paying attention.
I didn't say anything. I'm going to bed.
Okay, did you figure out the dilemma?
I think so.
When do you want to do it?
I'm still not bleeding in another 2 weeks. We'll do it.
I'm sorry you have to deal with this.
Don't be. It feels like fate. If I'm going to be a resource for other people, I'm glad I have to try it out on myself first.
Your logic never ceases to amaze me.
Who else is going to do this? I'm a nurse. I'm obsessed with reproductive health. Is it scary? Sure, but I'm in the right place at the right time. You can't afford to wait around for the DIY abortion savior to appear.
You don't have to. You're right here. Sweet dreams, Magnificent Witch.
You're not coming to bed?
Just after one video.
Sure.
I have every intention of just watching one video tonight.
Now, where were we?
Ligua, a long resident horn made of linden wood.
Yes, ligua were traditionally used to transmit messages across long distances. Dr. Spots believes that the Lublin Codex is a record of these messages. What other theories have you heard?
The writing of a lost monastic order. The plain language of noble-born children. A recipe book.
Codex?
Here are some of our favorite images from the Codex.
Oh, that's some queer shit!
How is it possible that you always think you get more?
I always do!
Oh,
You never do! You never have!
Why are you two always going on like a couple of laying
No,
hens?
look how much I took. Come on.
All right, well, would that we could lay eggs for you, Papa.
Good. Let's get these sorted for the solstice feast. The
Right.
Robot's envoy will be through this afternoon.
The giant ones for the feast. And the pretty one for the king. And the rest to get us through the winter.
How are our winter cabbages?
Their heads are tightly round with dreams of the new year.
No, child. Can't you just tell us if they looked well?
Papa, don't be short with her. We planted
In good time, and they will be ready in good time. Yeah, Biga, have the cabbages given us a story then?
A short one. For as I said, their heads are tightly wound as patrons.
At least to invoke Patrimps brings good fortune.
I'd like to hear you tell it.
Not so far from here, and not so long ago, there lived a lively youth who loved to dance in the meadow. She would dance and dance each day, the whole day, until she fell into bed each night.
Is that some sort of jab at me?
Papa, I don't think that we would, we'll keep going.
I'll just continue along. You work it out. I'll just continue.
I want to hear the rest
story.
of the story.
Her parents were desperate for help with the land that they worked. So they consulted a wise Ragana. They begged her to make their daughter something that would cure her of her dancing. So, using her vast and well-won knowledge of Zalanikista and of the many gods, she gave the elderly couple a brew that would make their daughter helpful to them. When the daughter took this potion as her parents requested, when she asked them what it was, they told her it will make her stronger. And she liked the sound of this very much. She thought, now I will be able to dance even longer. And that is exactly what happened. But that night, when she fell into bed, before her head even hit the pillow, her body sprang up from rest, and even though she remained asleep and dead to the world, utterly dead to the world, her arms and legs worked in the field all night long, so that by morning every row was hoed. When the sun returned, the girl woke, sprung from bed, rushing off to dance in the meadow. She went on like this all growing season, with only that wood woman's magic to hold her together. When the last vegetable was out of the ground, and the trees had shivered all their leaves away, the young girl went into the meadow in the morning, and she felt that she was so tired she could not raise her limbs to dance. They were as dead as stone. So she lay her body down on the smooth frost ground. The leaves, she fell into a deep sleep. She slept and she slept. The leaves and the flowers of the meadows fell over her as winter put them too to sleep. The snow came and covered her body, and she became a pregnant lump on the ground. Her parents searched for her, but they could not find her. So they went to the Ragana once more and begged her for her help. She replied with a twist in her smile, "In March, your daughter will give you one last harvest, that you may treasure it for its true value." And sure enough, when the snow melted and the ground thawed, in the meadow where their daughter rested, a bed of cabbage had grown. And in the middle, wrapped in cabbage leaves, was a precious baby. The elderly couple wept with joy as they took the baby up into their arms. They promised to love this child just however she would be. Lazy, joyful, sad, hard-working, sometimes one way, sometimes another. They would love her always, just the same.
Now, is that some sort of jab at me?
I don't think the cabbage has any ill will towards you, Papa.
Oh, I love that one, Yadi.
I just can't take any more sharp turns or surprises in this life.
What surprises?
The only good surprises.
Let me get these off to Kravu Kravats.
We'll get supper together.
Sister, is there something you want to tell me?
Don't you already know everything already?
Am I to be an auntie?
You are.
I listen well when Li Tai speaks about how the human seed is planted and grows. The spirits of air and soil take hands within a womb and wrestle. Go on.
Igniting.
Squeeze
one then
way
the other,
there,
igniting the
beat
of
a
life.
Of life within a new vessel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, how did you know?
Well, you're been sick in the morning and you're ruddy on your face.
How does Li Pai say that one?
Fighting to stay well and glowing like a goddess, sooner later to be.
I'd rather Li Pai think me a goddess than a chicken.
Agnes, who did you take behind the haystack?
Call.
Well, you could do worse than a pig farmer.
I'm terrified of pigs. They eat children.
Did you like the pig farmer's shop ladle?
Ew! Don't call it slop ladle.
Well,
It was too blunt and too quick. You know who's the only one for me.
so you're looking forward to solstice.
I'm overcome with excitement. I want to squeeze Li Pai's face and feel the solid pounding of their heart through that silk, musky skin.
That handsome crone, that handsome crone will break your heart if you don't learn to enjoy other lovers.
I'm trying to learn. Why else do you think I tried with Nicole? What about you? Are you nervous for your ritual?
I am only nervous that you will be jealous after.
Because rituals don't count. I might be lovesick, but I'm not senseless.
I wish I could grow a baby.
I'm sorry.
Well, I will be the most delighted auntie.
Truly, I wish I could be a delighted auntie.
Well, if I wasn't so happy, I would be furious with anger.
I'm sorry that made you jealous. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm also nervous about inciting another sharp turn.
I don't think Papa was speaking about you when he spoke about surprises.
Well, he He doesn't have to speak about his discomfort for me to feel his discomfort.
You've always been my sister. It's no sharp turn. You've always been my sister. Would I tell a brother about me called Schloss Ladle?
Hi, Manuel.
You're early.
We have a lot to catch up on. I really hope you'll be able to meet last.
When I don't maintain my personal boundaries with my students, everyone suffers.
I just really need my advisor. I'm sorry, I probably didn't capture it well at 3 a.m. Just too excited.
I expect a doctoral candidate to communicate himself clearly, especially when he's excited.
Sorry, Professor, you're right.
This isn't like you.
I promise. The new focus for my dissertation is exactly.
You're going to toss out your research?
Nothing's wasted. It won't affect my teaching load. I'm sure the courses I've done will come into play somehow. I haven't started the bulk of my independent research, so the only change to my plan of studies is 2 classes. Religions of the Medieval World and European Archaeology.
I don't see how your committee will agree to this.
Let's be honest, they don't know what to make of transhumanist prophecies. With the Lublin Codex, I'll be studying Eastern European, pre-Christian religion. It's out there, but I'm sure they'll be relieved. If I have your support, they'll definitely get on board. Professor Yavin, will you let me change my dissertation topic?
Are you asking me or telling me? If you're asking me, please don't change your independent research topic. It's going to be a whole headache. So you're telling me. So tell me, Lyndon, what is the Lublin Codex? What do you hope to add to its scholarship?
13th century manuscript.
13th century research. That's going to be difficult.
It's my dissertation. It's supposed to be a challenge.
I don't see how I can act as your advisor for this.
It's still religion and gender studies. I'm just theorizing about the past instead of the future.
The future is safer to theorize about than the past.
What's the worst that can happen? It's not brain surgery. Okay. So the Codex is written in a language no one's been able to decode, but it has all these drawings that to me carry unmistakable queer subtext. My research will prove that subtext and open new possibilities for decoding the glyphs.
You mean no one knows what it says?
No, but I do. I spent all morning in the special collection. I'm sure it's about ancient...
Slow down. You're starting at the end. Don't do that. You just learned about the Codex recently, right?
Yeah, but...
I, too, see queerness everywhere. But you have to be careful about jumping to conclusions. That's not the basis of scholarship. If you actually have something, it should be able to withstand your research. You're not doing yourself any favors fantasizing about historical bullshit.
I am aware of my biases. I'm just excited. You don't want to hear my hypothesis?
No. I'm way out of depth in this area. The only way I can be of any help to you is as a less biased sounding board for your arguments. Don't show me your hand until you convince me, okay?
Okay.
Like you did with your dissertation committee.
Okay. I hadn't prepared for that. I'm sorry. Could I just describe a drawing for you? I know analysis of illustrations will be a major part of my argument. All right, only a second. Okay, so there's this one. There's this person sitting cross-legged. You barely see their legs because in their lap is this, like, massive flower. Like one with a lot of petals. Like a peony. No, not a peony. Maybe a badly drawn. You really can't see their face or their torso because in this mass of flowers is like a thick, almost veiny looking stamen coming out of it. The arms feed into this stamen and it branches out in this fractal pattern. There's tiny people dangling off these branches by their crotches. All their branches end in tubes with people's arms elbow deep in them. They're tiny, so you can't really see their expressions. But I think their bodies are like arched in pleasure. Yeah, I think it's pleasure.
Does pleasure look the same as it did 800 years ago?
Of course, we can't know that, but
You have to be careful. You don't want to get written off.
you seem really worried about that. But I'm not worried about it. I just want to understand the Codex. Like, I have this feeling, like, whoever wrote this Codex, like, okay, maybe it's fucked up, but, like, I have a feeling they were writing it for me.
Scholars have studied this text for literal centuries. No one knows who wrote it, what it says, what it means. Why do you think you're any different?
Because I'm not a privileged cis man.
No, you're a privileged trans man. Seriously, then, why do you think you're some kind of decoder ring?
Pleasure. Here, drink this for your health. How do you feel?
Weak. My bones ache. My hands and feet are so cold.
That's good. That means you still have feeling. Let's thank Elderflower for her medicine. When I found you, your hands were stiff and gray.
Where am I?
At my hearth, good monk. Here, I didn't want you to warm too quickly.
Near what towns?
Oh, about a half day's walk from 3 villages and 1 larger town. Set back from the path between them. You better know your way or trust your gut to find me. How do you find your thoughts? Do you know how you were lost in the snow?
It's all so hazy now. I know we set forth in the late summer with an envoy of brothers, seeking somewhere in northeast Mazovia, where, to please our Lord, we would set up a missionary chapel.
The last I know, Mazovia is to the south and west of here. I only know what I need to know, and I have no business in politics.
Good man. Did you see my brothers or the caravan when you found me?
No, and it's a good thing. I certainly would have found them frozen and dead. What tracks they might have left were covered by the snow.
I must find them if they survived.
Okay, but let's warm by the fire. Maybe we'll wait till the moon is near full, in case you get caught by the dark.
I must find my brothers.
Okay, if that's how you feel, I will ask the ravens if they will help us find them. Here, come warm by the fire.
Davis, Foucault, Sor Juana, Isis, did you fold brochures when you were junior faculty? This is not my fucking job.
Doesn't matter. Someone has to prep the fucking open house materials.
What if I just didn't?
Nope. You gotta pay your dues. A little institutional worship will protect you when the shit hits the fan.
Who am I kidding? I can't just not. Recipe for anxiety. Better to be folding brochures for students who surely will crumple them up, then throw them out, then decide to major in economics. Why does no one care about this department? Religion, so gorgeously, devastatingly human.
Structures for making life meaningful. Technologies of morality. A seemingly simple way to make life's choices that get validation.
But only oddballs like Lyndon see the choices there at all.
Why are you so scared for him? I mean, really, what is the worst case scenario?
Lyndon doesn't get his PhD, and I don't get tenure because I failed to advise him appropriately. Then I float from lecturer position to lecturer position, a bitter, untenurable scholar of marginal religion.
Ooh, yeah, that would suck.
And all of that happens too, not necessarily because he's wrong, it's just because he can't be entirely right. All the work that's been put into the Lublin Codex, all the fundraising, all the scholarship, all the summer interns, it all needs validation. At the end of the day, a fresh, new, queer perspective is inconvenient at best.
You want to believe that your advisee's failures won't affect your shot at tenure.
I'm not that naive.
Would you have to be so self-protective?
Maybe I do. No one's going to do it for me. Not in this ivory tower. Who is our Lublin Codex specialist anyway?
Ooh, our favorite fellow colleague, Dr. Cameron Spots.
Fuck. Good luck, Lyndon. You just picked a battle with the king of petty bullshit.
Ravens say no, but the rooks seem happy to help. Be sure you're warm by the fire.
You live out here on your own? No wife or family?
Not at all on my own. There's a great many birds and beasts and plants that accompany me. We take care of each other.
Wild magic like that doesn't exist. Only God can perform miracles.
Who said anything about miracles?
How do you survive here without other people to split the work?
Not like you imagine. My family is a vast web of kin by loyalty. Even in the coldest winters, I've never done without.
You wear pants, but have no beard. You look young, but are wise beyond a boy. Forgive my directness, for it is out of ignorance, not a lack of gratitude. Are you of Adam or of Eve?
You have many questions, monk. I've met Christians before, and Jews for that matter, so I believe I know what you refer to. Not an uncommon question among pagans for that matter. And I'll tell you what I always say. I am Lipai. Lipai is my name and my persuasion.
Lipai, like the tree.
Yes, I'm much like a tree. Are you warm yet? Let's go see if the rooks have found your brothers. There's a page near the beginning of the Codex that's fully inked in. Not like it's hiding something, like it's marking something important about darkness. There's a word that appears on the opposite page 4 times and only one other time in the whole book. The other page is midway through the Codex, opposite a picture of a blinding illustration of the sun. Scholars mostly agree that the word means solstice. There is some debate on the adjacent words meaning darkness or winter, and on the page with the sun, summer or light. I think about them in that darkness. 17 hours of darkness. When I stare into that inked out page, I feel their sense of relief. Relief that for such a short period of time, so little can be demanded. I think it'd be savored. Gratitude for winter that demands this pause. Just keep the fires lit and love your loved ones.
So, take that piece of amber you find upon the ground as a sign of the Mineral King's goodwill, but don't ask any more questions about it.
Brother Kissler, I'm aware that you and your brothers have a great many rules, and as I understand it, forms of self-denial. That's not how we live here. And while you are here, I invite you to hold your judgment and just make feast with us.
Viga, are you ready for the ritual tonight?
Ready? I have been hungry for this day since I learned such a thing was possible.
You're not nervous?
Why does everyone ask this? Nervous? No, not nervous. I trust in the goddesses. I trust in our healer. All these healers. I feel more whole when I look at all you gorgeous creatures.
Tonight, as we fall on the longest darkness of our year, we lift up our gratitude to the unseen work of the spirits that make the sun rise and the plants grow and hearts beat. Yadviga, little sister, you have been chosen by Mother Moon and the sister spirits of Lake Wigri to to be their companion and their voice among humans. Tonight, we loosen your unbidden tethers to manhood and set you on your path home to the goddesses you serve. Brother Gislin, you'll want to join Carlston outside. Observations of your cycles, she honors you daily. She fights to find her way to you, knowing you are her heart and her home. Rejoice, for the magic of a woman who knows her own heart so well that although her body may hide it, unseen like the night, the truth of her feminine spirit cannot be denied. In darkness you transform, and so it shall be with your daughter's transformation.
What's happening in there?
I suppose my Jadviga is becoming a woman.
Was she not a woman?
Good monk, find yourself far from your people.
I am a stranger in a strange land. Lepai has been very generous with me, but often answers me in ways that raise more bewilderment.
I've known Lepai since they were a child, and they have a way about themselves, making me keenly aware of my own ignorance.
But how does someone so young and so strange become...
Lepai is the great-grandchild of a fairy clan. The story goes, the Krivu Kravats of those times had borrowed too much from the fairies, and when they came to collect, he had them killed rather than return their fey treasure.
That's terrible.
Terrible and human. A small group of fairy healers were protected by the people of this valley, and Lepai is the last of their line. There are few here who don't owe their health to Lepai's family, and many come from very far to receive Lepai's gift of transformation. Many, like my Jadviga, were cast out by their families. We are lucky to be so close to Lepai, and to have received so much of their magic.
Is your daughter ill?
Jadviga will feel more herself after the ritual.
Then what is the ritual for?
Just as Lepai said, Mother Moon.
If it is for the moon, then why is her own father not inside?
These questions, monk.
I apologize if I pry too much. But what are these sounds? If not cries to invite the devil. Yet Lepai acted as the good Samaritan when he saved me from the winter's grip. The difference between evil and good has never been muddy to me.
We are decent people.
If you are good people, then you will find salvation in God.
Look in this fire. Perhaps your answers are there, monk, for Father Fire knows more than either you or I. Yes.
Thanks for meeting with me, Cameron. Nice fireplace. I didn't know they were usable.
Only mine is. I put up a real fight for that. This fire is my most reliable muse. Care to join me?
They would have stared at fires too. Whoever wrote the Lublin Codex.
Well, sure. Fire was fire for them too.
But wasn't fire more than fire? Heat, Netflix, God.
Well, precisely. Shouldn't an artifact of such importance be prominently displayed?
Who pays for your chimney cleaning?
Very funny, Emmanuel. So, you're advising a student who should have majored in history.
I'm working with a doctoral candidate who is interested in the Lublin Codex. I understand that's one of your specialties.
Specialty, hopeless obsession. What sort of expertise does this candidate have?
He's in my world. Queer theory and marginal religions movements.
The Codex is really for linguistics experts with code-cracking chops. These analytic guys only consult me for a medievalist perspective.
I was hoping that you would consult with him about his approach.
I presumed that after almost getting me fired, you wouldn't show up in my office asking for favors.
You knew that they weren't going to fire you for being cruel to queer students.
I just find it pathetic that a little bit of political disagreement is what passes for cruelty these days. Just think for a second what I was called when I came out in the 80s.
I'm not here to relitigate anything. Sometimes religious scholars are going to be interested in medieval anthropology.
And are you prepared to vouch for your advisee's scholarship?
Just meet with him. He's dead set on working on the manuscript anyway. Wouldn't you rather be involved?
I don't think either of you have any sense of how hopeless the Lublin Codex is as a dissertation topic. It's a web of unprovable dead ends. I can't condone this inquiry. Some mysteries force us to reconcile with never knowing.
Of Lake Green stood a flowering linden tree, and on that linden branch so strong, 3 birds sang songs for thee. They were no mere birds, but your admirers, each desired to be your pet. So their sweet songs turned to argument.
I didn't mean to interrupt. You know how I love your bird song.
What made you laugh?
Why should the birds argue? What's wrong? Have I done something to hurt you?
Sometimes I feel so small around you. Everyone needs you so much. Who am I to take up your time?
You're someone who truly makes me feel at rest. You have no idea how much you mean to me, Agnes.
No, I don't.
If there's a way I can show you, I will do it.
We haven't had even a moment to be alone together. This whole time. I missed you so much all harvest season. How I missed you. But did you even think of me at all? I'm just one of your many intimates.
When I dream of you, I wake smiling. I sing that song you taught me to keep up my strength while chopping wood. I sing it in all manner of work. When something's funny in my day, it's my instinct to share it with you. So that you may laugh, but of course you're not here.
When we're apart, when I'm here, only during festivals with so many people around and so much going on, I hardly feel special to you at all.
You are special to me. If my words and caresses cannot show you, I can't force you to feel the love I am feeling always, but I pray you'll feel it. Agnet, I need to move, stir the pot.
That brew smells bitter. What's in it?
You're too young to be my apprentice.
Young?
Too old.
Too old? It's just me.
No, the ravens would peck out my eyes.
Fine. What's it for?
It's a medicine to pass a pregnancy before it becomes a child.
Did you think it's how you... How did you...
What?
Pie.
Are you pregnant?
Did you know or not?
I thought maybe, but I was content to let you tell me if there was something to tell.
I didn't know. What to say. I'm sorry.
You owe me no apology. This love is our freedom. I don't love you to bind you to me.
I don't. It's just... I didn't get much pleasure from him, and now why would you make me something to pass it?
This brew? This is for the Potters. The wife came this morning. They have 7 children already.
It's not for me.
No, you didn't ask for that. Do you not want a child? Oh, Birdsong, come on, come sit with me. Do you not want a child?
Oh, if the question weren't before me, I never would have asked it.
Then you should ask the seed growing inside you. It matters what the seed wants.
I don't understand.
The seed wants to be a child. If the seed does not want to be a child, it may use the medicine against you. But if it doesn't want to be a child, if it doesn't want to experience this life, then its lifeless, would-have-been vessel will just pass easily.
How do I talk to the seed?
Come here, lie on our mother. Try to form a connection. Just keep it simple.
Did the Potter do this?
Yes, this morning.
Oh, what did her seed say?
Oh, the seed and the Potter argued bitterly. And though they agreed that their love for each other was deep, now was not the right time. I sense that the seed will come and find her children, that when they are becoming parents, and find her as a grandchild.
How do you make sad things so beautiful?
It's bittersweet like that. Sometimes the seed is relieved. The responsibilities of human life
So
are...
if the seed does want to become a child, then you don't make the medicine?
It depends, but whenever I've gone against the seed's wishes, it turns out badly. I don't want to get the reputation of an uncaring Ragana.
I'll speak to the seed. Hello? I'm supposed to speak to you. Do you understand me? I don't know what to say. Do you want to know about the farmland? Each year we reap less of what we've sown. Do you want to know about the big man? These wars, they grow ever near.
Why did you leave it then?
What?
Why do you leave the marsh?
I'm just a visitor here.
But why? Is it not your home?
I have responsibility to the land my family plants.
Do you want to get started, even if it's just us again?
What is this? The third month in a row?
Some semesters, people need a grief circle more than others.
They're just passing through for a few years. I still need this space, decade after decade. Don't you?
I'm glad I can offer for you here as a chaplain. I'm glad the space is here for you.
You're for me? Don't do that. You grieve too. Take off the collar, girl. I remember you in all the ACT UP meetings and at all the funerals. We're still just scared queer kids. We were just scared queer kids, forced to bury our first loves. We were goaded to fear our own pleasure as a plague.
She's still here right inside of me. Sometimes I cradle her and I tell her sweet things, but it's her inside of me. Not me stuck in that traumatized child's mindset. I don't think I can be very good at my job.
Bobby, Bark, Robbie, Caesar, Saturn, Lamont, and on. And out in a web of possibilities, cut out by the plague, by the straight world's indifference.
Maybe campus grief circle is a misleading name. We're not grieving.
I am.
We're getting comfortable with death.
Comfortable with death.
Fuck that, Marcia. Death's not something to get comfortable with.
Okay, Cameron, I'm sorry. Go ahead and use this space however you need.
I'd like to start my testimony. Can I get a little silence?
I use the old lunar calendar, so forgive me, dear Lord, if I have gotten Christmas Day wrong. I thought it better to mark my adoration than not at all. I light this candle for you, dear Lord, and exalt your name. For you have saved the world from darkness, and my world is forever yours.
Do you have a name? For it strikes me now that we have all been very rude to have been calling you the monk all this time.
I haven't minded. It's Gislin. My name.
Gislin. It sounds like a brook springing from the ground. Lovely. Is that a beeswax? We never had a beeswax candle in our house. May I hold it? Smells so good.
It's difficult adjusting to tallow if one is used to beeswax.
No, I better not get used to beeswax then. What's that?
Mood.
This is the Bible.
Yes!
The Word of God. I saved it from the wreckage of my brother's fire.
May I hold it?
No. That would be improper.
Are there stories in it?
Yes. Many stories of God and his son Jesus, whose birth I celebrate today.
Yes.
Who is Jesus?
Jesus is the Son of God, the one true God. Today I celebrate his birth. Jesus' love for us is so strong that he sacrificed his life for us so that all who praise him and accept him as their Savior will spend eternal afterlife in heaven.
That's not really a story.
Well, I would love to tell you about him.
Go ahead. I guess we'll learn some new stories as I recover. Don't be squeamish on my account. I chose this pain. It's a small sacrifice to be closer to the goddesses.
You mutilate yourself in praise of false idols. Well,
Tell me about Jesus.
let me see. There are so many stories. When Jesus was young, the Spirit of God flew down from heaven like a dove and landed on him, calling out, "This is my Son who I love." Then God led his Son into the wilderness to face the devil's temptation. He was hungry, so the devil came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "Man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from God." Then the devil, that tempter, took Jesus to stand on the temple's roof. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down, for it is written in the holy book, he will command the angels concerning you, and that will lift you up in their hands, so that you will strike your foot against a stone." Jesus answered, "It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." Next, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world. "All this I will give you," he said, "if you bow down and worship me." Jesus said, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written in the holy book, worship your God and serve him only." Then the devil left, and angels came and tended to him.
Did the angels prepare him a feast for that ordeal?
They gave him comfort in some form.
That's a better story. Some parts need a little help. I can fix it.
It's not a folk tale. You can't change it.
Of course I can. How else do you expect gods to become known? Your Jesus sounds like a sweet desert rose, gentle, unaccustomed to the ways of political men. That surprises me.
Why?
Because every Christian I've ever heard of before you has been both violent and political.
That's why I intend to set up a monastery in the region.
Oh, so you can tell stories about God and his younger brother, the devil?
Why do you suppose them brothers?
The devil, in all his work, did this for his younger brother to prove loyalty to his father. Younger sons do all the work and take the fall. But we do well to see value in their work, even if their attitudes are unpleasant. I know a story about a couple of ancient gods. They were brothers. Their names are lost to Father Time. So I may as well call them God and Devil. These brothers roamed the land when all was water, with a few scattered fragments of sand and clay. The brothers, after traveling around for a while, became tired and began looking for a place to rest. None was to be found. So the elder brother, God, took in his hands, he took some sand and clay that was laying nearby and was shaping it into a flat cake. Setting it on the water, he lay down and went to sleep. But Devil, who still had no place to rest, became furious. He determined to get rid of his brother. So, while God slept, he began pricking and prodding the cake of sand and clay, hoping it would sink into the sea. But God would not be so easily disposed of. He woke and commanded the cake of sand and clay to come to life and grow. The mass responded. It grew bigger and bigger until it covered the water almost everywhere. Now the devil was even angrier. He started to try to smash the now bigger mass of sand and clay to bits, but all he managed to do was ruffle and dent the mass. This is how the earth came to be. God brought land out of the ocean, and Devil, in his rage, made valleys and mountains, lakes, valleys, and seas. And in even outdoing his elder brother, made the earth gracious and varied.
And imagine that olive grove overlooking Jerusalem, where Jesus and his disciples gathered. Down below, he sees the temple and a flurry of activity around it. He knows the authorities are closing in, and he has to find a safe place to celebrate Passover. So, he sends his disciples, and he gives them very specific instructions. From the book of Luke, chapter 22, verses 10 to 12.
Yes.
When you enter the city, a man carrying a jug of water will meet you there. Follow him to the house that he enters, and say to the owner of the house, "The teacher asks, 'Where is the guest room where I may celebrate the feast of Passover with my disciples?' He will show you a large room upstairs, all furnished. Make preparations there." Who is this man carrying a jug of water? And how does Jesus know that him and his house will welcome Jesus and the disciples? Well, it's long been assumed that Jesus had set in motion earlier an elaborate plan, but the Jesus I know prefers to have faith, not a plan. Again and again in these acts of faith, we see Jesus using his observations of human behavior to open a new way forward. A miracle. What if these instructions are the same? Just Jesus using his observations of the codes and patterns of life in Jerusalem to find safe haven. Well, remember, these events, they coincide with the Jewish custom of Passover. No table should be empty. every large house should be overflowing with friends and relatives from across Judea and as far as Galilee. Every guest quarter should be full. But Jesus, he knew that a man carrying a jug of water, a man doing woman's work, would have belonged to a house with a queer family order. A house that is likely to welcome a strange, impassioned rabbi and his followers. A house that knows the high cost of gossip. A house that will be overflowing with laughter and friendship and kinship by loyalty at all times, except during the feasts of familial obligation. How many of us know about that? So, basically, Jesus, he's saying, go downtown and clock a cutie. You better let him and his sugar daddy know that you'll be coming over for Friendsgiving and hosting it in his decked-out guest house. Hallelujah! It's a cruising code. Let each of us be able to find one another and find shelter in one another in every moment of persecution, in every era of human chaos. May we hold each other in community, break bread and sing, set each other free as we let go of those parts of ourselves that need to die, that are of this world and its constructs and its falsehoods, and not of God, not of love. Let those fearful parts die, so that we may be reborn and fill this world with more and more and more love. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Marcia. We are so lucky to have you as our chaplain. As always, I'll be thinking about that sermon all year long. Happy Easter, everyone! You know the deal. If you brought something for the potluck, please list the ingredients. There are no cards if you need them.
Dr. Godin!
Hi, Lyndon, what's up?
Dangerous question if you have somewhere to be.
Aren't we meeting this week?
Yeah, it's just about a discovery. I'm just really excited, and my friends are sick of hearing about the Codex.
Just try to keep it short.
Okay, it's about the botanical illustrations. Because the plants don't look like any plants in our world, people mostly thought they were made up. But I think they're medicinal instructions. As a whole, the plants don't look like any plants of our world, but each part is familiar. So I think the illustration is not of one impossible plant, but it's telling me to put different parts of different plants.
Whoa.
Like a recipe.
Yes. So I've been going through my herbal identification books, matching leaves and flowers, roots to the illustration.
Even if that's what the authors intended, how would you know what the recipe is for?
Plant medicine subreddit. I shared one of the recipes on there and got 17 responses. Everyone was like, yeah, that'll induce an abortion. One person even said it looked, from Latvia, said it looked like a medicine her yaya made for her as a teen.
That's interesting, if inconclusive. Look, Lyndon, I spoke with Cameron Spatz.
Why? That guy's an asshole.
Don't be rude. He's our Lublin Codex expert.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. So what?
Can you see why I would be concerned that you haven't even looked up the Lublin Codex experts? I was hoping that he would advise you. I'm way out of depth in this area.
I don't want Cameron advising me. Could he look at my trans ass without scowling?
Well, it doesn't matter because he refused to.
Wait,
so.
what?
Because you're not a code-breaking linguistics expert.
Oh, come on. You know how much those wonks are missing.
You're letting your excitement lead you. You have to let the evidence lead you. Otherwise, you'll only see what you want to see.
Cameron just sees what he wants to see. At least I'm aware of it. I'm not like those old school scholars that claim objectivity, meanwhile erasing the potential for a queer historical narrative to emerge.
I need to see your evidence. Real facts, not anonymous internet sources.
Hey, Marcia, can I bother you a minute?
No. But you can ask me a question.
I really love your spirit. I can't wait to tell all my friends about Jerusalem's 2,000-year-old cruising code. But I'm afraid they'll get the wrong idea and think I'm just seeing what I want to see.
I choose to believe that what matters is the meaning we're making from the story. In my case, how's this helping these students move through next week with compassion for themselves and their peers?
Hi, Marcia, while I have you, can we nail down some logistics for next week?
Sure. Nice to see you, Lyndon.
You're an academic, not a chaplain. I need to see real sources.
Real is code for elitist trap.
Is something going on with Lyndon?
I hope not. I was wondering, are you busy Tuesday afternoons? I have a class I'd like you to visit.
I host a campus grief circle at that time.
That could actually be perfect. You think the class could come visit. It's a small seminar, 2 or 3 students.
Are they grieving? I wouldn't want anyone who shows up to feel observed in an academic sense.
I totally get that.
Wife got you worked up?
I wish he could. Fuck, man. What an ignorant thing to say.
Hey, jeez, I'm just trying to be personable.
I've lost too many husbands.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Condolences.
I mean, it is like a marriage.
I mean, what is?
I'm the one who convinced the special collections curator to buy the Lublin Codex in the first place.
Wait, are they selling it or something?
Some grad student has it reserved for the rest of the semester. What is he working on? You think you can just waltz in here with your gut feeling and tell me anything I haven't already considered about this artifact? Its unruly marginalia, its vivid coloration, the alphabet of impossibility, its elusive paper material.
The way you talk about it, it really sounds like you love working on it.
Uncle, what has your head so low?
I don't know if my girls are coming back this spring.
They'll be back before planting begins.
I hope you're right.
They're definitely going to be back before planting begins.
Probably, yes.
But if not, you know, we can grab a few men, we can march down to the old fairy caves, and we can take them by force.
Then they'd only leave me for good.
You all right, buddy?
No, obviously not.
Can we get this guy some water?
My mind is churning about whatever perverted assumptions this grad student will bring to the Codex. If rampant speculation becomes some viral pop sensation, is there anything I could actually do about it? All I can do is worry.
Are you worried about them spending so much time with that Faye Ragana?
I know they're safer with Leapi than anywhere.
They'll be back before planting. Don't fret.
Do you ever wish you were someone else so that you could be the right person to be loved by the people you love?
Old man, you are too hard on yourself.
No! No, they're too good for this world. They're such curious and talented children. The honor of my life is watching them grow into such reverent, passionate people.
Your daughters are not children anymore. They are aging strange and soon to hag. Throw them on my one. I'll catch you in a hug.
Everything in fatherhood is negotiating compromises between the world that I want for my girls and the world that exists for us.
That's the best we can do.
As a child, on nights like tonight, Yadviga would climb under my covers and tell me about her fears until sleep cut in. They were fantastical, conspiratorial paranoias that I could do nothing about. But still, I did what I could. I held her. Now, my daughters, you leave me guessing about your shame, about the big decisions you make in your life. I'm glad you two have each other. But me? What if I need you? I don't want to be a burden. I just want you to be free.
Father, the storm delayed me, but... Let us drink to the health of our community. The Fey line of Lake Wiggly celebrates a new generation.
Hey! Leapie is with child?
So to speak. Agnet will stay until the delivery.
Such news! And how are you, my precious? How's your recovery?
I am right in line with the moon. Yeah.
And no other news of Agnet?
She is in good health. She is enjoying many forms of love.
Why do you withhold so much from me? Did I teach you to shut me out?
Father, if it's gossip you want, you just have to ask.
What's Agnet hiding?
Take it up with her.
When?
When we welcome spring.
How? When you two asked me not to attend anymore?
Just till Agnet turns 30. But I see your point. Just after we welcome spring.
Fine. What news is fit for an old man's ears, then?
Oh, I know. You'll never guess who stayed on after solstice and kept Leapie's warren with us all spring.
Don't tell me that Monk's still hanging around asking questions.
Oh, no fun. You are too good a guesser, Papa.
And let me guess, you have feelings for the poor fellow.
I am sweet on the kind and generous person who helped me while I was recovering.
Careful, daughter. With these modern myths the Christians have, I've seen how souls can be torn between realities, stuck in self-anguished hatred. It is better to wait until the monk chooses which world to inhabit.
Oh, Father, I know. I will have to be patient with Gisling and wait for an unashamed invitation until I find where the monk's pleasure lives.
See, these old ears can handle a lot without falling off.
I know you were once the Prince of Spring himself.
Yes, but I much prefer to welcome spring as a stork, or a bear, or a goat. We goats always made the most of our spring.
So goofy, I love it.
This isn't one of your reverse abortifacients.
It's chamomile. We definitely got it all out with the dirty little machine.
Don't call it that.
I'm reclaiming it. How do you feel?
I mean, pretty okay. Can I see the... You never asked me about the guy.
I figured if you would tell me if you wanted to.
What if I wanted you to ask?
I don't like guessing games. Do you want me to know or not?
I don't know. It was a consensual time with a sexy stranger.
I'm glad.
What fucks me up is something so fun and freeing. If I wasn't a nurse, if I wasn't such a repo health nerd, I'd be absolutely trapped. Biopain is so reckless. God, this whole experience, such a turnoff.
Yeah, it sucks.
Thanks, babe. Even you make abortion sweet and fun. I might start making you give me menstrual extractions when I just don't want to bleed for a whole week. It could be offered as a salon service. That's it. That's the solution.
For abortion or menstrual extraction?
That's the point. No one would know which.
Sometimes I worry about your license, babe.
Most of the medical profession is just hoops and gatekeeping to keep poor people from recognizing their own expertise. That's what I learned in nursing school.
So what are you going to do with it?
I picked up a sapling from the garden warehouse, an oak. I thought maybe we could go out to the forest and plant it on top of my little friend here.
Okay, that's beautiful. I'm really proud of you.
Aww.
You talked me through the whole thing. You made it really easy to do a good job.
Good. I think I'm ready to start doing workshops.
Yeah, like when I was looking at your cervix and through the speculum, it was like, have you ever seen the Milky Way?
Yeah.
It would like really put me in my place like that. Like in a really good way.
What do you think people did before speculums?
The fans, probably.
Totally, wow. Yeah, they do it all by touch. We still do use hands for some things, but I'd be able to give my patients so much more helpful information if it were at all appropriate to fist them.
Oh my God, Mila! It's fisting!
What?
It's fisting in the CODEx!
How's this CODEx?
It's fisting!
Oh, of course, yeah. It's turning out to be a lot about reproductive health.
They were definitely doing a lot of midwifery.
And fisting.
Is there a term that's not so sexual?
Are you saying it wasn't sexual for them, Pleasure King?
I'm mortified. I mean, I'm sure it was like spiritual and medical, but mostly I just don't want to have to say, they were fisting to Emmanuel.
I had an ex who called it feministing.
No.
Internal vaginal massage?
Maybe manual, like manual speculum?
Yeah, Emmanuel isn't going to know what you're talking about. You're going to have to say fisting to all your advisors.
What is this CODEx doing to me?
All I know is that if I ever decide to give birth, I want you to manual me all the time while I'm pregnant so that the baby just comes out like a satisfying shit.
Something strikes me, Gislin. Spring is come and gone, and you're still here helping me. I thought by now you'd be on your way back to Pluck.
I hope I haven't overstayed my welcome.
No, I enjoy having you more each day.
And are you?
Do you mean to stay and make a home here?
I still intend to build a monastery in the region. But truly, what I see in God's plan is that you would join me and minister your miracles in the name of the Heavenly Father.
Gislin, no.
Why not?
I see you watch me during rituals and healings. You eat me with your eyes. I thought you were interested in my practice. I didn't know it was to feed me to your god.
I am interested in your practice. I see God moving through you already.
My medicine must be believed to be seen. Men who follow Christ believe only in his Father's power, so my remedies are likely to fail then. I'd be watched over like a field mouse by hawks, taken measure of. And these people who rely on me, what will happen to them?
Yes, but others will come to you at the monastery. Am I not a follower of Christ? I have seen your work. I know it is good, so, like all things, it must be of God.
It's of many good gods and some mischievous ones and some who refuse to be quantified by moralities. Good, evil, what's it all for? I ask for their help and often they assist. How would your brothers make sense of that?
They will see that you perform God's miracles.
I do not have faith enough in your God to perform his miracles. I would not be a heretic whom they might crucify. Your brothers would scorn me, you know they would. I couldn't be made real. What I do couldn't be real. Because it's not God's work, but it worked for the healers who raised me and back and back.
Why do you say that you are calling upon the devils when I know that is God working through you? My brothers are gentle and kind. You mustn't prejudge them. If you only come to know God, you will know all the good that he can do in your life.
What can your God give me that the plants and stones don't already know? What can he give me I can't get from my community?
Salvation.
Am I in need of saving?
Salvation from suffering.
Am I suffering?
They are not. That is clear.
From temptation. From sin.
What does your God think of sin?
The world is full of sin.
What does your God think of sin?
Pride, envy, anger, covetousness, sloth, gluttony, lust.
Oh, so it's just the depths of humanity he objects to. Here's some things I think a pity to waste my life on. Fear and shame.
I don't understand.
She cannot. Not that.
If you will not join me, then I shall stay here. For it would be slothful of me to give up on your salvation.
I am not in need of saving. The sooner you realize that, the better. I return your love and don't want to send you home. I see your beauty and your worth, even if you only see your sins. I see that you are curious and patient, gentle and kind. I know what I know. You're welcome to listen. But I have no interest in quarreling with you about politics, about my beliefs. I can't abandon my community.
Is this what the devil sounds like?
I'm going for a swim.
Is Gislin unwell?
Monk is at a crossroads.
I hope the monk stays.
You do?
After solstice, when I spoke to the seed, it said it wanted to be your baby. As I told you, it also said it wanted to be Gislin's baby. I thought it was strange because I hadn't so much as mentioned the monk's name. Do you love the monk?
I do love Gislin. That monk is making a cocoon out of that tattered robe, and I'm content minute to wait for a resplendent moth to emerge.
Well, at least the monk is used to loving one who is loved by many. I think you will be good together. I think you will be good parents.
And what about you?
I'm relieved. I think we should practice.
My God. Glory be that you have come to me my time of need.
You are our troubled child.
I am lost, but I cannot be lost, for you have found me.
Unburden your soul to me.
Will you take my confession, Lord?
I will wash you of sin.
I am surrounded by sinners. I have seen how they lop at each other's holes. I have seen how they might take me under their spell. But I am not as strong as you, Christ. My flesh screams out for union. Oh God, I have seen how demons nearly leap out of Lepi when they are in the throes of ritual passion. How can I want to be thrust full of their sin?
Stay faithful to the Lord, and you will save their souls for me yet.
In the house of a stranger, you will find yourself strange.
Every day I stay here, I know I am more at risk.
Should you not risk all to bring these sinners home to heaven?
Yes, Your Holiness. I just fear I'm weak.
I would ask, why is it you adore me?
For all the peace you bring, for all that you have sacrificed, because by putting my faith in you, I know divine love.
Remember your vows, keep your focus on the love of God, and you will not falter.
Forgive me, Lord, for love is becoming a sphinx-like and many-textured thing.
Do you see love at work between these sinners?
This is the trouble. For in truth, love is all that I've seen between them. A quarrel here and there, but even those bring them closer to each other.
Love like that of your brothers in Plock?
No. At the monastery, we treat each other with respect. But our love we save for you.
As well you should.
But the love here?
It is for your creation spread over the land, like a blanket of protection. When Yudviga smiles at me, it's like my heart turns into lava. When Lepi's hands brush mine, it is like all the veins in my body go up to my throat.
Where is the devil in that?
Would you make me a heretic?
I was crucified for heresy. Those who know the love I know will always be called heretics, for love does not bring more power to kings.
If you cannot save them, leave them alone. They be blind, leaders of the blind, and when the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
Lepi makes me feel like I don't know the path before me. You used to shine a light to guide me, but now, without that light, my guide is gone.
It's like I can feel you right here. If you are here, can I just ask you what the glyphs mean? Erecting. Erecting? There's no way that's not erecting. And this one gives me vibes of like possession and self-possessedness. one's personal maypole. Follow men. Go to the place maypole was felled. Dig up rootwood. Find the shape of inside you. If you do not know, ask your lover to find the shape of inside you. Take seed pod fluff harvested in winter. Boil. Sun dry on fresh day. Heat and mix with strained beeswax, strained tallow. Blend and balance ingredients, consistency of airy mud. Boil rootwood. Build up the shape of you. Rub with rough cloth. Rub with soft cloth until smooth. As the men erect this year's maypole, gather with your loves. Erect your own personal maypole. Lie still to wrap around your pole. Dance like rabbits. Test your fresh sex. Thrust it inside every awaiting gape.
The world is
entering,
leaving
an
outstretched era of equanimity.
imbalance
You hold in your hands
in your mind, gut, and patience.
a powerful weight to place on nature's side of this one planet's cosmic scale. Separation is crueler than death.
We need each other all.
Be
the otherless children of the cosmos. What is burnt away will regrow.
What is pushed down will always flow in through the cracks and flood anyway.
Where does all the magic go?
All siphoned off into money. Into some one true God? Oh! Do you recognize the magic in your pleasure?
Pleasure?
Pleasure.
Oh, the magic flowing up through the cracks. Keep it safely, Pie.
Set it free, Linden.
Hide it away.
Set it free.
The baby's coming!
Take the baby outside. Take your
Very talented duo.
Hello? Hello, baby. Does Agnet have a name picked out for you yet? Oh my goodness, you're so precious. Do you know you're the first baby I've ever held?
That you love holding babies.
I do. I love babies. I never would have known how strange it is to hold new life in my arms.
I promise without a shadow of a doubt I will do anything for you, my child.
You are my mother. When I begin to babble, I will reach my arms up to you and cry out, Mama.
Your shit, your snot and vomit will be my badge of honor. Oh, sweet child, thank you. Thank you for finding me in this world.
Name me Felsa.
Levi?
You feel the child's love for you.
Is it foolish?
Agnet knows you are the mother.
I am? I am. I am your mother. Her name is Felsa. I am a mother. And you?
I'm also a parent.
So we?
What do you want us to be?
A covenant of love for Felsa.
Hello. Are you here for Campus Grief Circle?
Yeah, I wanted to check it out.
Great. I'm Marcia, a chaplain here. She, hers, please.
Mila, they, them.
Cameron, he, him.
Well, it's probably us. Who would like to begin sharing? Great.
Today would have been my due date. I just wanted somewhere I could be with this feeling.
Yes. That's what this space is for.
Oh, Bus, you're here.
Where's that daughter of mine?
Let me see the baby.